This is the Louie T Network.
See, first come the preseason, and I don't take a day off. And then my team went 6-10, and we ain't smell the playoffs. Yeah, I seen the Super Bowl, but I heard they display balls. A lot of teams had injuries. Sam Bradford had to take off. Go hard in the offseason, but you don't know the half. Before you know, we gon' look up, and we ready for the draft. They dressed up in that suit tie, and I don't know how to act. They waiting, so patient, so they can put on that hat. Who else could it be? But your man Luke. Okay, so when she asks you where you was at, you tell her you in the lab room. Who else could it be? Who? But your man Luke. Okay, so when she asks where you was at, you can tell her you was in the lab room. Yeah.
Hey yo, who else could it be? For me, your man, Louie T. Welcome, you are in the lab room. Of course, I am your man, Louie T, and this is the Thursday night preview and prediction for the huge AFC West family business showdown between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. Chiefs at home, coming off of a huge beatdown of the Texans in week 1, coming into this matchup at 1-0. Meanwhile, the Denver Broncos, tough, hard-fought victory at home over the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens really took a physical toll on this Broncos team. A lot of guys were banged up leaving that game, so be interesting to see if everyone is ready to go on such short notice. Thursday night game, not a lot of time to heal and lick those wounds. And so I think the Chiefs have the upper hand just from a health standpoint, but a lot of these Broncos said they're ready to go, and they're ready to go out and prove that last week's lackluster performance on offense isn't the norm and the standard for this team in 2015. But let's talk about the Chiefs and their perspective of things. I think this AFC West division wide open this season. Unlike past seasons where I think the Broncos were the runaway favorite, even that one season where the Chiefs were right there with them neck and neck and they had a shot, and I think the Chiefs were the last undefeated team that season, if I'm not mistaken, at 9-0, and they were right there and they had a chance, and they allowed the Denver Broncos to not only catch them, but then pass them, and they swept them in that season at the Broncos, and that was a huge part of the reason why the Broncos were able to win the AFC West that season, and I want to say that was 2 years ago. I think this division is wide open this season, and I don't think the expectations are that the Broncos are just going to stampede everybody and run away with this thing like they did a season ago. I think it's more along the lines of a division that whoever gets hot, whoever wins, plays timely football, could walk away with the AFC West crown this season. And I think a lot of people feel like the Kansas City Chiefs are right there, and this division is there for the taking. Peyton Manning is not the same quarterback that he's been throughout the course of his career. We think we're starting to see the beginning of the end of Peyton Manning and what he once was. I don't want to count that guy out because he is not one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time for no reason. So I don't want to say that it's done because we did the same thing to Tom Brady. And remember, if you can jog your memory a little bit, last year this same Chiefs team put a beat down on the Patriots and Tom Brady, and we were questioning Tom. We were questioning, was it over? Had we seen the best of Tom Brady? And was he ever going to be that same guy that was able to lead that Patriots football team to multiple Super Bowls? And then Tom Brady resurrected himself from the ashes, took them to the Super Bowl, and the rest is history. So I don't want to write Peyton off yet, but I tell you what, this division is wide open. And I think everyone feels like if someone's going to step up and dethrone the Denver Broncos this season, it's going to be this Kansas City Chiefs football team. And they've got all the weapons to do so. If you're going to beat Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos, you're going to have to be able to get out the quarterback. This Chiefs team can do that. If you're going to beat the Denver Broncos and be the AFC West champions, you're going to have to be able to control the clock. This team can do that, okay? You got to have guys that can win one-on-one matchups. This team has that. in the newly acquired Jeremy Maclin, and of course, the Rob Gronkowski clone that is, okay, and I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be long before this guy is able to say that he is one of the best, if not the best tight ends. Again, staying healthy is the key in the league in Travis Kelce. So I'm telling you right now, the Chiefs have all the components. They've got a dominant run game. If this offensive line is able to gel together and start opening up some holes for Jamal Charles, they've got an elite running back. They've got a quarterback that's going to take care of the football, and none other than Captain and Alex Smith. And so he's going to protect the football. He's going to make smart decisions. He's going to keep them in third and manageable. This is a team that has all the components of a very dangerous team come postseason time. But you want to know what's even more dangerous? A home game at Arrowhead. And the way to get that is to win the division if you are the Kansas City Chiefs. And this is a game that's going to go a long way towards doing that. If you're the Chiefs, you need to win this game. Let me talk to you for a second. Come here. Let me talk to you for a second. If you're the Kansas City Chiefs, this may sound very familiar to you, okay? If you're a movie buff like myself, but let me have this quick conversation with you. You need to win this game. This game is not optional. If you do not win this game, we have a problem, okay? You don't want to win this division if you don't win this game, okay? You can't rely on having to go to Denver later on in the season and get one because you didn't get this one at the beginning of the season at home. The Broncos are vulnerable. They're coming off a very tough physical contest versus the Ravens. Guys left that game banged up. They don't have a full week to lick those wounds. You came off of a throttling of the Texans. The score may indicate that that game was close. It was not. You had that game well in hand by the end of the third quarter. So these are two vastly different results. Same end result, but two vastly ways that they were able to achieve that end result. And so you're coming into this game, everybody's focused, everybody knows the task at hand, and you're coming in with a full clip. So you need to unload it tonight on this Denver Broncos team. It wouldn't hurt if you could get something from Dak in the returns game. He looks like he's ready to explode and bust one off for a big gain, or if not a touchdown. You need Travis Kelce to continue to do what he did a week ago. You need Jeremy Maclin and crew to step up, make some plays. You need this offensive line to protect. And I think that's where this game is going to be won or lost for this Chiefs team today, because you got to realize the Denver Broncos are an elite defense. Just like this Chiefs team is an elite defense, the Denver Broncos are an elite outfit on the defensive side of football. They can get after your quarterback. Between DeMarcus Ware, between Von Miller, and their rookie, they're going to get after your quarterback. And so you have to be ready to protect Alex Smith. If he's under duress and is forced into some bad decisions, Aqib Talib is lurking. You saw that last week. You saw the impact that he had on the game against the Ravens last week. You make a mistake, you're going to pay for that mistake versus this Denver Broncos defense. So I think it is imperative that if the Chiefs want to win this game, they must control the line of scrimmage. And it starts up front with those five guys protecting Alex Smith and opening up holes for Jamal Charles and that run game. So we will see if the Chiefs can withstand this Denver Broncos team, because they're going to come out, and I'm already hearing guys like C.J. Anderson, who left last week's game a little banged up. He's rearing and ready to go. He's foaming at the mouth. He says, I'm looking forward to this Chiefs game because everyone thinks that this offense is lackluster this year. And you know, the Ravens shut him down. He had, I think, 12 carries, 32 yards, something like that. I mean, it was a really rough game for C.J. Anderson in the rushing attack for the Denver Broncos. It really was a tough game offensively all the way around for the Denver Broncos. They're really looking to avenge what they did last week on the offensive side of football. And they want to show that the defense isn't going to have to carry us every week. This offense can carry its own weight. So if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, it is imperative that you come out, you establish yourself on the offensive side of football, put pressure on the Denver Broncos, and keep it on them the entire game. I look at it from the Broncos' perspective, and this is a team that I feel like, I think I know who they are, and I don't think they're the same Broncos team from past years. I don't think this offense is going to be explosive this year. Emmanuel Sanders had actually said something to that effect earlier in the preseason. And look, I'm not going to have as many catches as I had last year. This is going to be a different offense. And you can kind of see that. You saw it throughout the preseason. You saw it in week one. Peyton Manning did not look sharp in week 1 versus the Baltimore Ravens. That's a really good defense, granted, but he did not look sharp. He was sacked a bunch of times. He was pressured into some bad decisions and bad throws. And Demaryius Thomas wasn't sharp in that game. And he was a little banged up leaving that Ravens game. This is a team that was battered and bruised in week 1. So there's a lot of things to prove out there on the football field for this Broncos team from an offensive standpoint. This defense, I think, is going to have to be the catalyst that carries this team this season. I'm not saying that the Broncos aren't capable of scoring 34 points, because if the whole setting is right, if the table is set and everything is right, all the stars are aligned, Denver can eat on the offensive side of football. Don't you mistake it. If they meet a mediocre defense and Peyton's feeling good and the offensive line is protecting and open up holes for C.J. Anderson, this team can still put up points in bunches. But when they meet a defensive team that can stop them from dictating pace and tempo and being able to open up holes for the running game and allowing Peyton to go play action fake and drive the football down the field, I think they're going to struggle on the offensive side of football, which is where this defense is going to have to pick up the slack and continue to hold teams down. I think the Broncos, when they played the likes of the Patriots and the Steelers and this Chiefs team, and the Chargers, I think they're going to have some low-scoring affairs. I think we could easily see a number of 13, 19 games like we saw in week 1 versus Baltimore. You could see a number of these games where they're winning 20-17, they're winning 16-13, where the offense isn't gelling and they're not having a lot of continuity and consistency throughout the course of the game, but the defense is able to hold the opposition down and come out with a victory. So I'm not sure that the Broncos are going to be able to generate a lot of points in this game tonight. I really feel like Kansas City can win this football game. I truly do. This is some AFC West family business, and you know how this goes. If those two teams say they ain't did it, then they ain't did it. But if they did, well, that's family business. So these two teams know each other. There's no mistaking that, and Alex Smith has seen Peyton Manning enough to know what he has to do in this game. These two teams know each other and what they want to do, but I think it's a little bit of a philosophical change for the Broncos in this one. The Chiefs are used to the Broncos going up tempo and trying to score a bunch of points, and the Chiefs having to try to match them. I don't think that's going to be the case this game. I really think the Chiefs can steal this game, but I'm not sold on Kansas City just yet. I probably should be, because I think Arrowhead is one of the toughest environments to play a football game as an opposition. And so I think they're going to have that advantage. It's a primetime game. The crowd is going to be raucous. I really think that the Broncos are a little banged up coming into this game. And mentally, I don't know if they're where they need to be because of how they struggled against Baltimore. But I still think you back this Broncos team into a corner, and a lot of people think that they're not the same team, including myself. And maybe they come out firing on all cylinders on the big primetime stage against this Chiefs team and exercises a few demons. I want to go with the Chiefs. They're at home. I think they're going to win this game, but my heart says Chiefs, but my head says Broncos, and that's what I'm going to do. Denver Broncos find a way to get it done on Thursday Night Football, 23-17 over the Kansas City Chiefs to go to 2-0 on the season, and that's where I'm going to stake my first pick of this Week 2 NFL slate. I'm going Denver. I'm going Denver 23-17, and I'm probably going to regret this, but that's what I'm rolling with. My head tells me that the Broncos find a way. They're going to win this division. I said this on my podcast. If they're going to win this division, they're going to have to go on the road and win in tough road environments. This is probably going to be one of the toughest road environments they're going to see all season. This is an opportunity for them to go out and prove that they can get it done, not only at home at Mile High, but on the road in Kansas City. That's going to do it for the Thursday night preview and prediction. I thank you for joining me. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab room. Come back and join me. Let's continue to break down anything. And now, in the National Football League season tomorrow. There's plenty more where that came from. While you're here, subscribe to the channel. If you want more Louie T, be sure to follow me on Twitter @InTheLabRoom, or you can like the Facebook page @InTheLabRoom. That's In the Lab Room on Facebook and In the Lab Room on Twitter. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so.